Hello and welcome, as today is that of the 11th day of June 2019. My name is Derek and welcome to the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades of the like within each his own risk and their own reward. I'm basically just going over how I see the market, mainly even that of my portfolio, which always changes time to time and it's just going to keep doing so. But as of now, I've decided to just calculate what everything is worth, and it just happened to be that Litecoin is 50% of my net portfolio in dollar terms, with Bitcoin being in at 21. So this is my top coins. I don't know, whatever. It's just how it's held right now. DGB at 6.9%, and that number has actually just even risen a little bit because I've uh, just recently sold Bitcoin Cash for DGB. Theta, 5.3%. And Bitcoin Cash again 5.2. GoChain. I've done a lot of looking and researching on it because I just fooling around looking at coins, GoChain and Skycoin. I just looked at both one day and I decided to buy. And Skycoin, well, that's a scary one. Definitely something I wouldn't want to put much on. It's on the all other section, but I decided to trade GoChain against three other crosses, so it should be fun. Komodo 2%, which is an aggressive single trade cross, as is Dash. It's a very aggressive trade class. But I got 1.7%. I'm only trading against one thing. That's Theta. Gross coin at 1.6%, and everything else is 4% of my portfolio. And everything else turns out to be that of Theta Fuel, Neo, Mona, Ethereum Classic, Tron, Qtum, Binance Coin, Sky, and Arc. Everything else I have sold, which includes VRC, AidCoin, and Vertcoin. And that's basically how I'm doing it. We'll see how it works, but a lot of it is just ratio trading one coin versus another. And now amongst the crosses, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 different crosses that I'm looking at. So Arc and Theta, am I the first person that's even cared about that cross before? I mean, they've been around for a while, but they're two coins I can divide by each other. Right now, 4.3, the current ratios, the most recent ones, these are the current ratios right now. The highest price divided by the lowest price. Bitcoin Cash DGB, Bitcoin Cash Litecoin, Dash and Theta, Ethereum Classic and Theta, GRS and DGB, Litecoin and DGB, and I got a lot of Litecoins. There's Litecoin and Go, Litecoin and GRS, Litecoin and Komodo, Litecoin and Theta, Litecoin and Tron. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. Technically, there's Litecoin in the dollar and there's Litecoin in Bitcoin, but I'm going to talk a bit more about that when I get to the charts as well. But they're both not going to happen probably for a while. Neo and Mona, that's just a small one just for fun. It's at 6.29%, so I think it's a nice little move soon. Same with Sky and Go. If I can just pick a way to move over 5, 6, 7%, I try to do it. But a lot of times I'll try to play the market, see if I can pull a 7, 8, 9% move, see if the coin going up is either a good trade up and or the other coin is a good short trade or going down. So if I'm looking at it, I'm saying, okay, maybe, because what's happened is the last trade was 555, now it's 590, which means that when this goes up, the coin on the left is going up. So Neo is overperforming it. So if Neo looks like a good day trade, Mona looks like a good short sale, I'm going to wait a bit, try to time the market to see if I can get this at a higher number than the 5.9. And Qtum and Go, that's Sky and Go and Theta and Go. And this Theta and Go, this could be an interesting cross together. You're talking two coins that when you put them on the blockchain, take like no time at all to send. Theta, it's like 40 seconds, 35 seconds to send to from from your own wallet to the Binance to the point where they're able to sell and confirmed. GoCoin or GoChain, like 80 seconds. So it's fast, and the volatility possibilities. could be fantastic. So I think this is going to be a fun, different cross. Now, as far as setting up a Go wallet, oh, easy. I'm on the website https forward double forward slash thingies wallet.gocoin.io. And on here we see create account, open wallet, mainnet. Warning, please use this wallet in Chrome Ignito mode or Firefox private window. I'm in Firefox, so we're going to use that Firefox private window. Two options. One, create account. Two, open wallet. And what we're going to do first is I'm going to put it into new private window. And a new one comes up. So I'm just going to copy this. And we can see this got the purple thing here. This is just to prevent against hackers, so that's more than anything. So here we have it. Now we want to open. This is how easy it gets. So we want to create an account, and then with Chrome Ignito mode, I've never done it, but I'm sure you'd want to do that if you're using Chrome. So create account. Okay, so we push that. We push create. We're done. There's your private key right there. That would be your private key. You would want to write every single number down on a pen and piece of paper. And I'm serious and kidding when I say that, because I do write mine down on a piece of paper. But I also have it on a computer file on a USB little mini drive that is not located on the computer. And this here would be your public address. So in this spot, if I were to open the wallet, I could put in the address, and there we have my current balance is 0 for this here. And there is the Go chain. And we'll take a look at Go chain in a little bit. But first I'm just going to go over Litecoin. Daily time frame, this thing obviously is breaking up very, very nicely. Weekly term time frame. The way I look at it is, from the break of this move, we have this move in here that goes this high, goes down to the 18. Nice little up move here, but we got these couple sideways periods. So it's breaking out, and then when there's a breakout, I say, well, where's the target level? And I got to give a range, and I just got to think that the lower end of the range is like around 150. I'm thinking 150 to about 200. And who knows if they do more, but I just got to think on this breakout. I just don't think it's done yet. Maybe it is, but that's my take on it. Now, as far as trading this against the dollar, I'm probably going to start picking away at it. Do a small tail at around 300 to 350. Put a small to medium amount at about 500-600 and start going moderate at that four-figure number. Probably putting it into something like a true US dollar. And right now I'm pretty much, it's fun having like all of my coins in like 98.5, 98.6, 98.7. Well, after today will be over. 98.7% of my funds in my own possession with my own private keys. I got a few withdrawals I got to make before the end of the night, and about 6 or 7 of them actually. Yeah, that's been a lot of trades today, which is good, But I got a lot of coins that need to be withdrawn, and that's what makes it fun about the game. Is of course being in control of the wallets. But yeah, I think this thing has got good potential to keep on going. Like maybe it's overextended. It's going to top at some point. Obviously, right now the buyers are in control of the market. If you're trying to short this market because you think it's up too much, well, the buyers are in control of the market. I can draw trend lines up here. It's pretty much breaking it. Again, I just think that the level of resistance that this is going to make it up to is higher than where we stand right now. Let's look next at Litecoin, Bitcoin, 172. and just a phenomenal leg higher. And yeah, you're thinking, oh, it's up too much at 149 at 150. Yeah, well, at then 160. I've sold a lot of Litecoin over the last 2 days. I have sold a lot. Well, I mean, not 10%, but it's not 1% either. I've had a lot of Litecoin go out of my wallet into Binance, into Bittrex, and into Poloniex, into some other coin, and into those wallets. And what I'm hoping for is that this just has a good continuation move. Even if it extend another couple of days, would be nice and perfect if it can go up to the 1920 number, 22 handle. And that would be fantastic. And then what I'd hope is that because the market is overextended, it either goes sideways and or pulls back, while all the other coins collectively have a good bull market, pretty much like December 7th to like December 15th of 2017. When Litecoin had like a 2 3 day run, like where it just went way high, 2 3 4 5 day run where it went really big, and then after that it went sideways and down a bit, where then all the other altcoins went up. So what happens here right now? I'm selling Litecoin for this, and that. I want to now sell this, and that for Litecoin. And I know it's going to happen in time. And if it keeps going up, then I'm just going to keep on. I'll do the same thing again. I'll make like 5, 6, 7 more withdrawals and bits and pieces here and there, and then just see how well it's about the game that I've talked about and how I play it. Because obviously, if I would have known this information, how to trade like this 2 years ago, I'd be in so much better shape. And that's exactly how I look at it. Like, what could I have done better, and how can I improve it on moving forward? And I like, of course, being in control of my situation for the wallet this way. And of course, the volatility. Because the problem with Bitcoin is, okay, what happens if I want to sell, say, 3 Litecoin at the 20 handle? Then I'm going to get 0.06. And if I'm going to get 0.06, it's going to cost me 0.0005, which is very close to 1% of the trade, to get it off that wallet and put it into my Trezor. And I got a problem with that. That's way too much of a fee. So I'd rather just not mess around. That's why I'm thinking, you know what, let's just get out of this aid coin stuff. And I know I like it. All the coins that I got rid of, Vericoin, even Vericoin as far as its movement, I like, although I'm kind of neutral on Vericoin, but aid coin, I like its actual movement, but don't want to have funds on the exchange. And that is why I don't want to just sell it and then buy it back, because okay, I can sell it here at 0.02 and look to buy it back at 14 handle. Okay, and that's fine, and it'd be profitable. And then I might run the situation where probably not, because of the downtrend, run a situation where I have to send Bitcoin off. It's going to cost $4 or whatever to send off of it. Because that's a big problem thing I have with Bitcoin, is that the transaction fees could be so much. And to send Bitcoin today, I made withdrawal yesterday, it was like 87 cents. I'm like, sweet, I can buy some stuff on Binance because it's with Bitcoin, because it's 87 cents to send. And then I bought some more stuff today. It was $1. Yay! But they add up. 87 cents there, $1 here, 90 cents there, and then of course 50,000 off exchanges right now is $4. $4 here, $4 there. So I try to avoid the fee cost as much as possible. But realistically, what's going to happen is if I get the dartboard rally where everything goes up over a good period of time, like say multiple weeks and even months, where markets overperform Bitcoin, then all my ratios in here, like let's just give you an example here. Like I got all of these coins, like let's just assume that ARK goes up to the 4,000 handle, Bitcoin Cash to 15, Dash goes up to 47, DGB's at 920. Yeah, ETC at 3,200. Say gold coin goes to like say 25. It just goes phenomenal. And they all do that. What's going to happen is I'm going to be like, you know what? Let's just take some Theta and sell it for Bitcoin. Let's take some Tron, sell it for Bitcoin. Let's take some DGB, sell it for Bitcoin. And if I do a bunch at one time, especially if the markets do it together, then it won't be like, oh, zero point zero 0.06 Bitcoin. No, it's going to be like, oh, 0.75 or 0.92 Bitcoin. And now I don't care about that fee too much. So that's really my plan for accumulating Bitcoin, is within these ratios. I'm not only trading these on again against the ratio when these things move. So if this one here at 56.81, what's the close like? Was this one here like the sky go? If this goes up, okay, I'm going to sell it at 68 and do all that stuff. But again, if both coins are up, then I'm going to be like, why don't I just take 15% of this holding here? Say I got 5,000 of one particular coin. Maybe I'll take 500 or 600 or 700 of it, sell it off for Bitcoin. And especially in situations where I'm able to accumulate coins because of trade. Because I'm selling a whole bunch of Litecoin here, then I buy a bunch, sell a bunch, buy a bunch. I notice, oh my goodness, I've gained a decent amount of Litecoin. Well, now those gains that I've got, why don't I just, because Litecoin's up so much, let's say at the 0.039 handle or something like that, maybe I'll just sell X amount of Bitcoin, 15. And at 0.039, that would be about 0.57 or 0.58, 0.59. So that is really the plan as far as accumulating Bitcoin and such. Now let's talk about GoCoin, which seems to me like it's got a real lot of good stuff going on with it. I mean, if it's not, it's not. I don't have it in the likes of my Theta or my DGB holdings. But the possibilities of extreme volatility, as we can see in this, is there. And after this major decline, I like how this has been reacting not only since the whole sideways, but since the rally on June the 3rd, as the price action has managed to support in this little area here. Just all this sideways action. Yeah, a little bit of an attempt here, but what happens after this decent red candle? Doesn't quite get to the lows, so be it. It's not like not like everybody looks at it, although it hits often, but still pierces below, pierces above. You get a decent green candle that follows, and then today's session, yes, it's given a lot of its gains back, so let me just check where Gold Chain would be on here. I got Gold Chain at 314. It was a little bit higher. I sold some Go for Sky earlier. And then after that, I was just doing more research, and I'm like, man, I want to buy more of it, and I did. So I bought quite a bit more of it, actually, given the fact that I managed to get it in my top 7 or so coins. But I'm now trading it against Qtum, which I think is a quick Qtum. I think is going to be good too. And Theta, I mean, I'm trying. I've been just adding up on that. I'm very confident on Theta. We'll see what happens, but uh, and then of course Litecoin to me. I mean, I can almost trade anything with Litecoin. It seems anything that I like because that's just the way that I am. When we look at this on the 4-hour term time frame, and we'll get some more periods to show. This little move in here, now that's getting up, I really want to see it hold and stay above this general area here at around between 304 to like where it already is at 309 within the 18 average. The 18 average of lows, I'd like to meet up with this previous level of high area when it does it. But nice little. I like the way this is looking, and these moves they happen fast. And when you are involved in this, thankfully it only takes about 70 or so seconds to get them from your wallet to, of course, the exchange. So then, what else is there? Bitcoin. Haven't and Bitcoin dominance. You would think that this was a wild day because of all the stuff that's going on for me, but no, it's just Litecoin is busy. ARK had an earlier move, which is something that I got into. ARK, I like it on the daily time frame. I like how it's been hanging in here within the 18 average of highs recently. I didn't put much into it, but I think it's got some decent potential. I mean, you can see after this amazing. I mean, that's just the open of a chart, but it's had an amazing decline, plain and simple. Markets go up, markets go down. It has been a lot, and in downtrends. One of the things that I heard over and over was the market downtrends. They take a long time to heal. Well, it has been a lot of periods in here. I like how it's been riding and hanging in there within the 18 average of highs for the last 4 or 5 days or so. So I really do like this art coin right now. And DGB is getting its ass kicked. So I've been accumulating a lot of these coins lately. simply because of just what's going on in here. And if it keeps going down, I'll keep buying. But you know what, though? It's either going to win for me or it's going to lose. Because every time you get these down moves, you're buying, buying, buying because it goes down. And I'm always going to be thinking the same. Here I'm selling a coin that's like honor roll amazing, like a Litecoin that's kicking ass, and buying this that's just getting its ass kicked, and realizing, man, if I'm wrong and DGB goes to nothing, this is just going to be a bad loss to sell my Litecoin for this. But if you let the numbers play as it is, you know markets go up, markets go down, then I've seen big moves happen before in the past. And back in here, you could have been saying, oh, look how much it's down. It's down so much. It went from like 2,600 down to below 100. And now we've seen it, obviously. Well, here's 400 down to 131, now at 157. And even in here, it goes from 236 to 400. If this just even doubles from, say, in here, you'd be talking about going to 300. And a 300 move would mean, oh, I can get a bunch of sellbacks. And of course I would, because the numbers would allow such. Let's take a look at QTUM too, because I just entered into that. I got in at 400, 401. So it's down about 3 basis points. But on the daily term time frame, there's this there's a downward move a couple of times. Buy order cities have worked on here, at least on these 2 occasions in here. As you can see, if you had a buy order here, I mean, it went from 200. I mean, it went down like 3x, 3.5x. So you could have had your buy orders in and then sell. Same thing here. Not as good as it was before, but it was still good. If you bought at 223, you could get a 2x move. And even if you bought here at 313 and then it's back up to 443, you're able to pull like a 30-40% profit, of course, depending on where you buy from at that time frame. Let's just look at this on the 4 hours so we can see more for this short-term move. And yeah, this is that level of resistance that we've established for quite some time. This is nice, the pattern in here. You got this high, and then we're coming from point A low to point B high. Here's what hasn't happened since that move, which took place over a span of 3 days. It has yet to break above or below, and it hasn't even tested previous low. Twice it has tested previous high. Here, and then again in here. And we've had this as a support level, only hit once in this area, and a much bigger level of support. So this is the overall range. Oftentimes from failed moves can create fast moves in the opposite direction. We can look at it from 2 different ways. One, it did, because it got above here and it got to here. That's a fast move. 2, the fact that it managed to break down and stay within this range. That getting it above here, now that it's established it so much, you're looking at these types of moves, large green candles, so many percentage up moves over a 10, 20, 60, 80 hour time horizon, 100 hours, 400, maybe 400, but 100, 200 hours, or like several days. We have seen among this market how this level of resistance is being supported in here, and it's been there for a while as far as it supported it for a lot of periods. No guarantee it's going to break out above it, but so far so good. We've established some short-term resistance amongst this area, but a lot of times when these things are ready to go, they're just going to go, and it does seem as if it is ready. It might take like 2, 4, 5, 10, 20 periods from now. It could happen at any time. It wouldn't surprise me if in like 18 hours this thing takes off, or if it takes off even immediately for that matter, let alone say 7, 9, 12 days kind of deal. But again, I'm just going to play the ratio, see how this does amongst its trades, and that'll be that. Silver and gold had some down moves today. Or yesterday, I think either one of those 2 days, because today's what? Is today Tuesday? Yeah. I don't know if I checked silver today or not. Might have been yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. It had its day move. What did it do today? Just a pause day amongst the 18 on the daily. Alrighty, so I mean, technical analysis. It's all the same. I've talked about this 1,000 times on the channel. Stage 1, band flatten out. Stage 2, establish resistance. Stage 3, come back to the band. Um, Stage 4 is breaking out above it. So if it gets above there, that's them. It's stating, showing, okay, we're attempting stage 4. And the 18 average of lows on something like this is your where you really need to hold previous area where you came from. And if it does so, that means the correctionary move of this gain would be thus of a success. But if not, you see weakness on the 18, you start to see price action near the low area, basically between the low and the breakdown area, which is the 18 average of lows. Then we're looking at what is a failed breakout. Because any time in a market where you're in a downtrend, especially one like this where you have several hits of resistance, one, two, three, four, all of these lower highs, and then you finally, for the first time or even just one of the times, have a really good attempt in trying to get above it. And if it fails and you see weakness in this area, then it's not uncommon to have a fast move on a break below this and whatever of a leg lower that could come into play. It could just be a small leg, could be a large one or a medium one, but you're very likely to get that if, of course, that happens. Ideally for me, I would like to see on the long-term time frame, so the monthly chart would probably, even the weekly chart, would be the best way to go about showing such. Is I'd like to see over the next 18, 19 months for cryptocurrencies to have a nice pattern of higher highs and higher lows with some nice volatile up and down swings along the way. And for this to stay within this range or maybe go a little bit lower. However, if this goes up to like say 24, 27, 30, I got a whole bunch of real physical silver. I'm happy to have my portfolio worth more. There's actually a part of me that rather wants that for those very purposes. But I also realize that if cryptos work out the way that I talk about, 30, 100, 200, 1,000, 2,000x gains from point low to point high, then am I really going to care about buying more silver if the price is at 29 or 36? And it's two and a half, three times more, less that I get when I was getting basically 100 times more than I should be able to get based on substantial gains. Oh, so that would work out to maybe 30, 25, whatever. Just major gains because if I'm buying something that goes up 2 or 3x and I'm profiting multiple, like double digit or triple digit x scores, and then silver would become very cheap. And yeah, I have no problem buying this because to me, with silver, I believe as long as you can buy physical silver at under $100 per ounce, I think that's a good long term play. And in reality, I'm saying that serious and sarcastic because obviously you're not going to spend $80 or $100 for an ounce of silver because the price is 14.74. You depending on the type of silver. I like to say grade. It's all the same, but I guess the manufacturer when I say grade, you could spend a little over $15 and get an ounce of silver or 10 ounces of silver at 15 per ounce. You can spend a bit more, spend 16 for this, 16 and a half for that. You can go crazy spending 18 and 19 for that. But that is uh, that's just how it works. That's what you pay. Why spend 50 when you can spend that? But it tells me that if price action goes up to 40 or 60 or 80, well, I expect this to go much, much higher later on after that. It's just at what point you say, okay, I think this is so good. 14.74 is so it's just so cheap. It's just so amazingly cheap. Well, what price do we get to until cheap is no longer such? Because at $24, you're going to be saying it's cheap if you're thinking it's going to go into the hundreds or thousand. If you think it's going to go to 1,000, then that's why I would think even 100 would be cheap. But at some point, it goes from way too cheap and at the very end way too expensive, and then sometime in that middle area it goes to well no longer cheap and starting to become expensive soon. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye bye.